here we are, another glorious spring day, and I've got, well, as usual at Greystone Gardens, plants coming out of my ears. But I did take time to kind of make a selection of plants that I want to kind of show you and tell you why I think they're great choices for your early spring garden. So let's start with a shrub. Now these are spirea. You're probably familiar with spirea. There are some white flowering ones, bridal wreath spirea, and then there are these yellow ones, and some like this one here, Magic Carpet, which have a little bit of orangey red in it. But the one I want to show you today is relatively new, and it's not at its best, but it's doozy spirea, double play doozy. The leaves go almost a brilliant red color. Now this has been grown way close together, so the only leaves that really got the red are the ones that were exposed to the light. But in the landscape, it really is fantastic. All right, something we have to be a bit careful about. This is a barberry, those picky little shrubs. In fact, right behind, a yellow barberry and a red barberry. Now, Pennsylvania has actually banned them. We can't sell them here, except sterile varieties. So this is one of them. This is called Todo, Sunjoy Todo, or Tudo. Very compact, makes a nice edge. You can plant it amongst contrasting colors. I brought this little yellow smoke bush in just to show you there, just how nice that color combination looks. The yellows, the purples, and again, unfortunately we can't do the bigger ones, but this Todo, the sterile ones, you can certainly plant in your yard now. Okay, another shrub to talk about. Now this one I think is quite amazing. This is the landscape Linwood Gold, which you see absolutely everywhere. It can get 5, 6, 7 feet tall and spread and take over your yard. That's a big yellow one, but look at this one. This is Magical Gold. Much more compact, about 4 to 5 feet, or no, they say 6 feet, so a little bit smaller than that one. But look at the size of the flower. So if you want even more yellow in your early spring garden, the Forsythia Magical Gold is a great choice. So I always get asked about this. This is that creeping phlox that you start to see everywhere. The only problem about creeping phlox, I find, is that grass can get amongst it, and the grass looks just like the leaf structure, and before you know it's overrun. But that was just to give some pretty color. Well, one I want to talk about is this, the catmint. Over the recent years, a new series of much smaller, more compact ones have come out. This is one of them. I love this one, cat's pajamas. Cats like it. They kind of like the smell of a catmint. But this one stays much more compact. I've had it in my yard for about 3 years now. It's a wonderful plant, stays low, flowers basically most of the summer. All right, another perennial I want to point out. This is a fern. The one on my right, this one here, the Japanese painted fern, was a choice. Slow growing, gives you some lovely color for the shade garden. But this one here called Ghost because it has this kind of little silvery white foliage, is a wonderful spreader. Very delicate, especially in a shade garden, stands out a little bit more than just your average green fern. So that color, that lighter color, really does pop in a shade garden. Easy to grow, nice spreading plant, really, really good choice. A couple of hardy geraniums. Now, just to make absolutely clear, the geraniums you put in your hanging baskets or window boxes are really called pelargoniums. That's its real name. These are hardy geraniums. They're fantastic garden perennials. They come back every year. This lighter pink one is a more unusual one. Typically, they're a bluey purple color. Some of them, like Roseanne, will flower all summer long. These won't, but this one I like particularly. This is a new one. I'm trying it out this year, but I've had reports of it being very successful. Look at the lovely leaf color, that purple leaf color, and it will actually produce a beautiful blue purple flower. So hardy geraniums, you really can't go wrong. Some will seed a bit over your yard and they'll spread a bit more than you want. Others, like Azure Rush or Roseanne, will flower all summer long. We're on to another choice, which is really a garden classic, the garden peony. Some like this will have this red tint to the leaf. Others like this will have a lustrous foliage, but the flower that I think tops all of them is the tree peony. So the clever breeders have bred the garden peony, Peony lactifolia, with the tree peony. It actually acts like a garden peony, so it will go back into the ground. After the frost has killed all the foliage, it goes back into the ground, and then it comes up. But what it has is a foliage that looks more like the tree peony and has these magnificent, huge flowers but they look like they're made of tissue paper. They are dinner plate size, some of these things. When you've got a bush of it absolutely covered in flowers, it is an amazing sight to see. New generation Freedom Boxwood is quite resistant to the blight and quite resistant to the borer. So when you go to choose boxwoods, don't just get any old one. Choose one that's going to be resistant just in case the insect infestation and diseases are causing you problems. Now, to end my little talk, I want to talk about a little native tree. It's a small tree, or if you chop it back a little bit, you can make a multi-stem shrub out of it. And it's right in flower now. This is the Chablo, Juneberry. They've got lots of names for it. And Melanchier is the Latin name. This one is particularly good because not only does it have a very early white flower, it produces an edible fruit as well, which you can eat or the birds can eat. But what makes it extra special, it actually has a red leaf color in the fall. So it's giving you basically 3 seasons of enjoyment. It's called Autumn Brilliance. That name speaks for itself. I have to say there are hundreds of choices I could have made. This is a selection I thought were particularly important now. So when you go out to your local garden center, check carefully, do a bit of research, and you can get yourself a plant that will give you just a little bit more. So if you've got any questions, we'd love to see you down here at Greystone Gardens in Clark Summit. We've got lots of plants. We're always busy, but we're never busy enough to answer your questions. So see you soon.